Good morning, cadets. Let us solve some numerical problems based on Kirchhoff's laws. You will come to know how to apply Kirchhoff's current rule and Kirchhoff's voltage rule, that is Kirchhoff's first law and Kirchhoff's second law. Okay. So, usually the Kirchhoff's second law helps us to find the values of the currents, the values of voltages and even the values of resistances also. So, I have chosen one particular problem. See, this is a mesh. A complicated network consisting of loops usually is called as mesh. It is a mesh or a circuit consisting of two cells. One is of 10 volt, the other one is of 14 volt, and three resistors, 4 ohm, 6 ohm and 2 ohm resistors as shown here. This is PQRSTU. The name of this network is PQRSTUP. Okay. So, this closed mesh has two loops. One is TSRUT, or you can also take TURST. Another one is UPQRU. Okay. So, closed loops. So, the mesh is having closed loops. What is the question? Find the currents through the resistors. The question is very simple, to find the current through the resistors. But the directions of currents and all, it is not given here. We have to assume. So, let me assume that the current here is I1. Let I1 be the current from S to T, right? And I2 be the current from R to U. I2 be the current from R to U. So, at junction U, if you apply KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, then it becomes I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2. So, the current will be I1 plus I2, which will be flowing through P to Q. So, this is how we can show I1 plus I2, right. So, the I1 plus I2 continues over here. So, after reaching here at junction R, you see, through junction R, I2 is the current flowing from R to U, and I1 is the current that is flowing through the upper branch, R to S, S to T. So, that at R, if you apply KCL at R, you see I1 plus I2 is the current that is joining, and the currents which are leaving are I1 that is in the upper branch, I2 is the R to U branch, I1 plus I2, that is fine. So, at U you can see I1 plus I2, the currents which are joining here, and the current that is passing from U to P to Q is I1 plus I2. So, that is how one can verify the Kirchhoff's current rule. So, that is fine. Now, with these assumptions, let us find out the values of currents I1 and I2 and I1 plus I2. That is what the question is about. Find the currents through the resistors. So, first we will choose the closed loop TURST. Look at this. TURST. Solution. Applying KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is Kirchhoff's second rule, to the mesh to the closed loop TURST, to the loop that is closed loop TURST. That is, you are going back to same point, so that is why it is a closed loop. Now, look at this. From T to U, there is a flow of current downwards. So, from U to R, look at this. From U to R, I can choose a yes, in the entire mesh, if you see, in the entire loop, if you see, the current is in the anti-clockwise sense. So I will choose anti-clockwise sense like this. Then I can apply the voltage law. So when you apply the voltage law, you can see here the first, the current is from R to U. So if you go from U to R in this anti-clockwise sense, there is increase of potential from negative potential to positive potential. So it becomes plus 10 volt, that is of this battery. From negative to potential, increase of potential is there. So plus 10. So when you move from U to R, there is increase of potential difference. So it becomes plus 6 I2, plus 6 I2, because the current is flowing like this, that is what we have assumed. But when you move from U to R, there is gain of potential. R is at a higher potential, U is at a lower potential. Therefore, it becomes positive, 6 I2 positive. Now, when you move from R to S, S to T, S to T, there is a drop of potential. S is at a higher potential, T is at a lower potential. So there is a decrease in potential. So the current which we have chosen here is I1. So the IR product 4 minus 4 I1, and here it is minus 14. That is from here to here it is minus 14. I think it is 14. Yes, 14. So it becomes again from negative potential to positive potential, there is increase in potential. Therefore, it becomes plus 14. Plus 14. If you add all these, you should get 0. Sum of EMFs and the RI products must be equal to 0. That is the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, plus 10 and this is plus 14. Now, when you simplify this, 10 plus 14 becomes 24, and minus 4 I1, minus 4 I1 plus 6 I2 plus 24, minus 4 I1 plus 6 I2 plus 24 is equal to 0. So this is the first equation. This is the first equation. Minus 4 I1 plus 6 I2 plus 24 is equal to 0. So this is for the loop TURST. You can simplify this if you want. Take out 2 common. So it becomes minus 2 I1 plus 3 I2 plus 12 equal to 0. Call this equation 1. Now similarly apply to the second loop, applying the same KVL to the second loop, PQRU, UPQRU, applying KVL to the lower loop UPQRU, right? Again, it is a closed loop. In this also you can see the current is in the anti-clockwise sense. The current is flowing in the anti-clockwise sense. So U to P, there is a drop in potential. So from P to Q, there is again a drop in potential. So this becomes minus 2 into I1 plus I2. There is a drop in potential. Again from here to here, there is a drop in potential. Minus 6 I2. Minus 6 I2. And here, from here to here, there is a drop in potential. So it becomes minus 10. Minus 10. From positive to negative, there is a drop in potential. Therefore, it is minus 10. So if you take out negative common, then throughout negative can be cancelled. So this becomes 2 I1, and here minus 2 minus 6, it becomes minus 8. So it can be written as plus 8 I2 plus 10 equal to 0. So take out I1. If you take out I1 common, then it can be written as I1 plus 4 I2 plus 10 equal to 0. Now let us take this itself as second equation. Now adding equation 1 and equation 2, look at this. 2I1 cancels. So you will get the result in I2. So we can solve for I2. Adding equation 1 and equation 2. So we get minus 2I1 plus 3I2 plus 12 equal to 0, plus 2I1 plus 8I2 plus 10 equal to 0. Adding these, so we get 11I2 plus 22 equal to 0. So this implies 11I2 equal to minus 22, that is I2 equal to minus 2 ampere. So we get the current I2 to be equal to minus 2 ampere. It means the current is not flowing in this assumed direction, it is flowing in the backward direction from U to R. So that becomes I2 equal to minus 2 ampere. It means it is flowing from U to R. This is the direction of the 2 ampere current, right? This is how we can understand. Now the current through 6 ohm resistance is 2 ampere. This is the current through 6 ohm resistor. So minus 2, it means it is flowing from U to R in the backward direction. Therefore, it is taken as minus 2 ampere. Now, next how to find out I1. Substitute the value of I2 in equation number 2 or in equation number 1. If you substitute in equation number 1, what do you get? Equation number 1 becomes minus 2I1 plus into minus becomes minus 6I2 plus 12 equal to 0. So this implies 2I1 plus 6I2 equal to 12. If you take 12 to the other side, it becomes minus 12. Therefore, taking minus out, totally taking minus common, then we get minus 6. I2 I have substituted here, I2 as minus 6. So here it is once again I will write. So here minus 2I1, 3 into 2 minus 6 plus 12, that is 12. Therefore, minus 2I1 is equal to minus 6. Therefore, I1 is equal to 3 amperes. So this is the current through 4 ohm resistor. So the current through 4 ohm resistor is in the same assumed direction, that is 3 ampere. So I1 is equal to 3 ampere. That's fine. So this is the current through 4 ohm resistor. Now the third one, look at this, I1 plus I2. So what is the current through 2 ohm? Current through 2 ohm is I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2. I2 is negative, I1 is positive. So 3 minus 2, that is 1 ampere. Therefore, the current through 2 ohm resistor is 1 ampere. The current, this is the current through the last branch, 2 ohm resistor. So this is how we have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law in order to find the values of currents, and once you find the values of current, then voltage can be very easily calculated. Voltage through this resistor is, see, 2 into 1, 2 volts. Voltage through this 6 ohm resistor is going to be 12. 6 into 2, it is going to be 12, but it is in the opposite direction. So U is at higher potential, R is at a lower potential, right. Then voltage through 4 ohm resistor, it is going to be 4 into 3, 12 volts, right. So this is one simple problem. Now let us solve another problem. Look at this second problem. This is slightly different problem. You are asked to find out voltage and the current across the resistance R. The current value is given here, 0.5 ampere, which is moving from A to B. This is A, B, C, D, E, F, or you can say A, B, F, C, D, E, A. One mesh, closed mesh, consisting of two cells, 3 volt and 4 volt, with their terminals like this, polarity like this, and 2 ohm and 2 ohm are being connected here in their respective branches, and here is the resistance R. Value of resistance is not given. This is the resistance R. So if the current that is flowing in the first branch B to A, it is flowing in this B to A in this said direction, which is given here, 0.5 ampere, and current in the second branch F to E is I2, and it is flowing in this F to E direction. This is also given. You are asked to find out what is the current flowing through this resistance R and what is the voltage across this resistance R. So first when you look at this, at junction E, see the currents which are flowing down like this, these are the currents which are joining. I2 and 0.5 are the currents which are joining here at E. So at E I can write the currents which are joining are 0.5 plus I2, and this is the current flowing through resistance R. This is the total current that is flowing through resistance R. So this is at E, 0.5 plus I2. From E, this is the current that is flowing. That is 0.5 plus I2 is the current that is flowing. So if I find out what is the value of I2, then I will be able to find out the current through this branch DC. And voltage can also be found out. So how to find out voltage across AB, voltage across FE, and voltage across DE. When you look at this, these are all in parallel. These are all in parallel connection, right? Voltage across AB. Look at this. When the current is flowing in this fashion, right? And here is the current I2 flowing. When the current 0.5, you can call it as 0.5 ampere. When it is flowing, you can take it as the current I1. I1 is the current flowing. Then we can find out what is the potential difference between A and B. When you look at it, the current is flowing from B to A. Means B is at a higher potential and A is at a lower potential. So we can find out what is potential difference between A and B. So through branch A, we can find out what is potential difference VB minus VA. Okay, potential difference VB minus VA, because it is flowing from B to A. Therefore, VB minus VA is equal to So you can see here the current that is flowing through 2 ohm resistance is 0.5. So potential difference will be 2 into 0.5. 2 into 0.5 becomes 1. So potential difference becomes 1. So and the current is flowing from lower potential to higher potential. Therefore the potential difference here is of the positive EMF plus 3 minus 2 into 0.5. So when it is flowing from higher potential, so this should be higher potential, therefore A should be higher potential, B should be lower potential. Therefore I should take VA minus VB. VA minus VB. So the potential difference VAB, I will call it as VAB, it is plus 3 minus 0.5 into 2. I think you understood why it is minus. So there is a drop in potential from B to this point, right? There is a drop in potential, therefore it is taken negative. So it becomes minus 2 into 0.5. 3 minus 1, it becomes 2 volts. So once you get the VB potential difference here as 2 volt, the potential difference across EF will also be 2 volt because they are in parallel. VAB is equal to VEF equal to 2 volts, and similarly this is also equal to VDC, potential difference across DC, because they are all in parallel. So we got potential difference across this branch as 2 volt, across this branch also 2 volt, across this branch also 2 volt. So VAB equal to VEF equal to VDC equal to 2 volt. So this is 2 volt. Now let me apply this equation for this. So VEF, I will write now first VEF, so that I can find out what is I2. VEF is equal to the EMF here is 4 volt minus I2 into 2, because there is a drop in potential. So it becomes 2 into I2. 2 into I2. But we know what is VEF. VEF is 2 volt. Therefore 2 volt is equal to 4 minus 2 I2. So take this 4 to this side, it becomes 4 minus 2 minus 2. So minus 2 equal to minus 2 I2. So this implies I2 is equal to 1 ampere. Therefore 1 ampere. So I2 we got 1 ampere. So when you got I2 1 ampere, the current through DC becomes 1 plus 0.5. The current through DC becomes 1.5 ampere. Therefore I can write current through DC, that is current through resistance R. The current through resistance R becomes 0.5 plus I2. I2 just now we have found out 1 ampere, so it becomes 1.5 ampere. So when you get 1.5 ampere as the current, and we know what is the voltage. Voltage is 2 volt. We can find out even the resistance also. What is the value of resistance? So I will write here what is the value of resistance. Resistance value R is equal to potential difference VDC divided by the total current I. The total current I here is 0.5 plus I2, that is 1.5. So VDC is 2 divided by 1.5, so it becomes 20 divided by 15. Therefore resistance becomes 4 by 3 ohm. 4 by 3 ohm. So this is a slightly, this is the problem which is solved slightly in a different manner. We did not choose any closed mesh here or closed loop. Without choosing closed loop, we just found out the potential differences. Okay. So thinking that A is at a higher potential and B is at a lower potential. So the current will be flowing in this fashion. So 3 minus 2 into 0.5, right? Okay. Now let us solve one more different type of problem. This is another type of problem. Here is a given closed mesh. See here, between A and B there is a source. There is a source between A and B, right? You are asked to find out what is the potential difference between source voltage VA minus VB. Okay. First, you are asked to find out what is the current through 10 ohm resistance. Then what is the value of EMF V1 of this cell. And the third one, find the source voltage VA minus VB. Means they are at different potential. What is the source voltage? There is a battery here. What is the source voltage? These are the three questions here. Given things are 1 ampere of current flowing through 5 ohm resistance, and there is a 30 volt cell here, 30 volt battery, and here the current is flowing like this. So 1 ampere of current is flowing. So at C what happens? At C, applying KCL, using KCL, C is the junction, the currents which are entering, the currents entering is equal to 1 plus 4 is equal to current that is leaving down this CD branch, that is equal to 1 plus 4, that is 5 ampere. So 5 ampere is the current through CD branch, through CD. So current through 5 ohm resistance is found out, that is 5 ampere. Current through 10 ohm resistance is found out, that is 5 ampere. Current through 10 ohm resistance is 5 ampere. Therefore, that is first one. Once you find out current through 10 ohm resistance, that is 5 ampere, you see this 5 ampere current continues here. After reaching D, again look at this, current entering is equal to current leaving. So 4 ampere of current is leaving out, and this 4 ampere of current passes through resistance R, resistance 6 ohm. Therefore, 4 ampere of current when it goes, the current that is coming back D to B will be 1 ampere. This is again 5 equal to 1 plus 4. Current that is entering is equal to currents that are leaving. 1 ampere, 4 ampere. Again this is according to KCL. So 4 ampere of current is flowing down here. Now we want to find out what is the value of EMF V1. So to find out that, apply KVL, voltage loop, voltage rule, Kirchhoff's voltage rule to this CDFEC. Applying, this is for second one. Applying KVL to the loop. The loop here is CDFEC, CDFEC, closed loop. You can see here it is in the anti-clockwise sense. So there is a drop in potential here from C to D. Therefore, potential difference when it is dropping here, it becomes minus 50, 5 into 10, minus 50, RI product. And here there is a rise in potential, therefore it becomes plus V1, plus V1. And 4 ampere of current is flowing down here, and it is F at higher potential and E is at lower potential. Again there is a drop in potential, so it becomes minus 24 equal to 0. Therefore, V1 is equal to 50 plus 24, it becomes 74 volts. So V1 becomes 74 volts. 74 volts. Now we got 74, that is second one. Then what is the source voltage VA minus VB? VA minus VB. To find out this, now we are choosing one more closed loop. What is that loop? A, C, D, B, A. A, C, D, B, A. This is the closed loop. Again here it is in the clockwise sense. Choosing that A, C, D, B, A. For third one, consider A, C, D, B, A loop. So in between A and B there is a source of battery or source of EMF, right? So let us take A to be at a potential VA. So I will call it as VA, and there is a drop in potential. So VA minus 5 into 1, it becomes 5 volt, right? And here there is a 30 volt battery. So it becomes plus 30, 30 volt EMF. And here when it comes down, again there is a drop in potential, minus 50, 5 into 10 minus 50, and again rise in potential due to the source, so it becomes plus 74, and here plus 74. When it comes over here, it is at the same potential, so therefore it becomes equal to potential at B, potential at B. So that I can find out what is VA minus VB. What is VA minus VB? So D, F and B, D, F and B, they are all at same potential, that is, let us take it as B, VB. Therefore, VA minus VB can be found out. That is what it is asked to find out. VA minus VB equal to minus 55, and here it is 114. 114 minus 55. So it becomes 49 volts. 49 volts. So that's how we find out the result. 114 minus 55 is equal to 49 volts. So VA minus VB is actually minus 49 volts. So this is minus and this is plus. Therefore, finally we get the potential difference VAB, VA minus VB, magnitude of this is 49 volts. So this is how we find out the potential difference of this source, VA minus VB, right? Minus 55 plus 104. It is not 114, it is 104. Yes, 104. Yes. Yes, 49. Let me solve one more simple problem. Now look at this interesting problem. There are 12 resistors, each of resistance 1 ohm, taken in this cubical structure. This is a cube consisting of resistors on each side, on each of its edge, on each of its side, it is having resistance, each of value 1 ohm. First, find the equivalent resistance of the network. Second, what is the current at each edge of the cube? What is the current at each edge of the cube? This is a problem that is given. Look at this. EMF of the cell is, EMF of the battery is 10 volt, and it is assumed that let 3I be the current that is flowing. When this 3I enters here, it divides into 3 equal branches. Because of symmetry, since all the resistances are 1 ohm each, so current will be divided equally. I, and through here it will be I, and through here it will be again I. So after reaching here, this breaks into 2 branches again, I by 2, I by 2 because of symmetry, right? I by 2, I by 2, and after reaching here, you see again it is breaking into, splitting into I by 2, and here also I by 2. And after reaching here, I by 2 and I by 2, look at this. I by 2 and I by 2 are the two currents which are joining at B dash. So I by 2 plus I by 2 becomes plus I. So it becomes I here. So after reaching here, you see this I is divided into I by 2, and here it is again I by 2. So everywhere there is a symmetry. This I by 2 and this I by 2 add here to give you current I. So the current through this C dash is again I. I is the current. So this is current I, from here to here it is current I, and you can see I by 2 and from here I by 2 add together total current I. So the current joining at C dash is going to be I. Again it is going to be 3I. So from the symmetry, right? I by 2. So here I by 2 add together to give you main current I. Here also main current I, here also main current I. So at C dash, I plus I plus I, it is going to give you 3I. At A you can see 3I is splitting into I plus I plus I. At C dash you can see it is I plus I plus I, it is giving you 3I. So thus again 3I current is flowing down through this mesh. So we have to find out the values of current. Before that I have to find out what is the equivalent resistance. Look at this. This appears to be very complicated. We will make it simple because of symmetry. We will make it simple and we can apply. Already we have applied Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's first rule, KCL, and we got this. Now we will apply Kirchhoff's second rule, that is KVL, to this closed path. Look at this, A, B, C, C dash, E, A. So this is a cube, you can see here, A, B, C, D, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. This is the cube, right? Out of which we are choosing only the path A, B, C, C dash, E, A. That is the loop which is external, in which the current is flowing in the clockwise sense. A to B, clockwise sense. B to C, C to C dash, you can see it is flowing in the clockwise sense. And we can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. Applying Kirchhoff's voltage law to the loop, which is that loop A, B, C, C dash, A, B, C, C dash, E, A. I am taking this point as E, E, A. Now apply. So the resistance here is R. So here also R. So let the resistance be R, so that I can substitute R is equal to 1 later. So this is also R, here also R, everywhere it is same value R. So R into I, so I will write it as minus Ri, right? And here also it is again minus Ri by 2, minus Ri by 2, and here again it is minus Ri, minus Ri plus, that is EMF. EMF here is 10 equal to 0. Now when you simplify this, minus 2 and minus 1 by 2. So take this 10 on the other side. So negative can be cancelled throughout. So minus, that is 2 plus 1 by 2, 2 plus 1 by 2 Ri becomes equal to 10. So this becomes 5 by 2 Ri. So thus it becomes 5 by 2 2 2s are 4, 5 by 2 Ri equal to 10 volts, right. So from this we know what is the value of R. So thus I can find out what is the value of the current I. Thus E is equal to, so EMF of this battery E is equal to 5 by 2, of course E is 10, let me write E is equal to 5 by 2 Ri. So from this we can find out what is the equivalent resistance. Therefore equivalent resistance can be written as, the total current here is 3I. The total current here is 3I, and if you take the equivalent resistance as R equivalent, so I can write the same equation, E is equal to R equivalent into I. R equivalent to the current here is 3I. Therefore using this, what is R equivalent can be calculated. Therefore R equivalent is equal to E by 3I. Total current is 3I. Therefore if you assume that this entire R equivalent resistance of this entire cubical network as R equivalent, then R equivalent is equal to EMF divided by 3I. EMF we have found out, 5 by 2 Ri, 5 by 2 Ri divided by 3I. So I cancels. So you are getting 5 by 6 R. 5 by 6 R. Therefore R equivalent is, we know what is R value. Here R is 1 ohm. R is 1 ohm. Therefore R equivalent is thus equal to 5 by 6 ohm. So this is the equivalent resistance of the entire network. Very simple. R equivalent is equal to 5 by 6 ohm. Now using this we can now find out what is the current 3I. R equivalent we got it, current can be calculated. So current 3I, now we can calculate the current 3I. Total current 3I is equal to E by R equivalent. E is 10 volt and R equivalent is 5 by 6. Therefore it becomes 60 by 5. 5 ones are 5 twos are, so it becomes 12. 3I is therefore equal to 12 ampere. So total current that is coming over here is 12 ampere. So what is the current at each edge? See here, current that is splitting at each edge. Therefore I at each edge becomes 12 by 3, that is 4 ampere. So this is the current at each edge. So in this way any complicated network can be made simple by applying Kirchhoff's rules. Okay. So I have solved enough number of numericals on Kirchhoff's rules. In the next we will study one important bridge that is called as Wheatstone bridge. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.